pull the chat up.
Well, I'm getting a spinning circle. I'm trying to look at my own stream, so I'm guessing it's live, although I wish it was working a little bit better than that.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Twitch is like sometimes you try to load a stream and it just won't load.
It's loading now. I had that problem less, and the nice thing about like partner streamers is you can actually change the quality as well if you're having trouble with load problems.
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys, we're gonna Travis, we are going to give people a little bit of time to get in. If you guys are wondering, we are live coaching here with Silkhandlez. You can watch him at twitch.tv/Silkhandlez. He is a member of Thrash Poker Staking. We are reviewing a MTT. Can you tell us what this MTT is?
It's the $11.2500 guarantee, the 9 p.m. one.
$11.2500 guaranteed, and I believe you said you got third.
Yep, third.
How much was third worth in this?
I think it was like $290.
$290. 29 binds isn't the worst.
Yeah.
If you were to say, you know, what you feel without like someone looking in, what do you feel is your biggest weakness in poker?
I would say for the most part, playing post flop, but I think I have improved on it within the past month pretty significantly. But yeah, definitely playing post flops my biggest weakness.
Where would you like to grow as a player?
Sorry, what do you mean? Like,
well, I mean, like post flop. I mean, I guess it's kind of like a weird question. Like, what is your immediate goals in terms of what you really want to work on? Does it continue to be post flop, ICM, pre flop?
Probably
adjustments to individual players, things like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Adjusting to like individual players. Like sometimes if I'm getting 3-bet like consistently by a guy, I have a tough time like reacting to that. Like,
I mean, the easiest adjustment is just getting tighter in that kind of scenario.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, there's certain tables I open like ace 5 off from the cutoff or the hijack, and there's other tables I don't.
Right. Yeah.
You know, just pretty simple, and maybe keep just like a slightly high enough frequency to where they are still attacking, but you don't want them like. If you're always raising hands you can't defend, you're just literally lighting chips on fire.
Right.
I'm just doing a tweet real quick. I'm gonna look for. All right, I got you a good gift. I got you the Allen Iverson. We talking about practice, man.
Nice. He's my all-time. Actually, I'm born the same day as Allen Iverson. We have the same birthday. He's my favorite player, and I found that out after he was my favorite player.
He likes gambling in Atlantic City casinos. At least he used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's AI. Keep it hood for you. Atlantic City I went to Atlantic City like 2 weeks after I went to Vegas, and I was expecting it to be like a East Coast Vegas, and it's one of the worst cities I've ever been to in my entire life.
Hey, what's up, Mario? This is a coaching session here with Silkhandlez, a member of our staking group, and we're gonna start here shortly. Just waiting for stream just loaded up, waiting for a couple people to get in. So we're going over a live $11 MTT he played. So it'll probably start in about 2-3 minutes. Just shooting the shit for right now.
Yeah, dude. But in Atlantic City, I had my car too. I drove down, and if you are you get off the strip for like 2 seconds here in some pretty sketchy neighborhoods.
That's what AC is known for. I actually enjoyed AC.
Yeah.
I used to live on the East
Yeah.
Coast, and I like going there, but I'm also a bit of a degen.
Yeah.
By the way, Mario, I'm about to buy tickets, I think, tonight to go to Vegas at the end of June for a couple weeks. So let's go ahead and get started. Assuming you didn't play this Ace-9, so we'll go through things that you did play. 3 out of 5s. Okay. Yeah, that plays itself. Okay, so guy just likes jamming all in every hand. So you're going to 3-bet this hand, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So we're going to go a little bit bigger sizing this deep. Yo, what's up,
Come in.
Snoss? How you doing, buddy?
Yo, Snelson Lost. What's up, man? I love your stream.
He loves your stream. I would go bigger size than this.
Like, into the 800s or like a 7.
Well, I mean, my default from the small blind is 3xing.
Okay.
And then going a little bit smaller when I'm in position, like 2.75, somewhere around there when I'm in position. But then that's default. It depends upon stack depths. Like, it's probably just fine just to 3x it here, but you just give 2 hands 2 good odds. 2 realized equity against you. Now, if you're 3-betting a really knit range, it could be a little bit better that way because they're realizing equity against a very strong range. But we should have, it's like a lot of bad ace-x suited, some suited connectors, maybe some broken suited connectors. Well, that guy's pretty tight. Why are we going so big on this flop? I mean, I'm fine with the pre-flop raise.
One thing that I have been doing lately is, and it's not like consistent. Like I mix up my bet sizes, but like in earlier stages.
Be consistent.
Or, you mean like make the same bet sizes all the time? You mean, or
what I tell people is change your bet sizing based off of 2 factors: board texture and stack depth. And this is the driest of dry board textures because if you bet 455, he's always floating a jack, he's always floating an ace, and if you bet 315, 275, there's not that much more you introduce into his range by betting that sizing.
Right.
Because there's no flush draws, it's just very dry. Now, that being said, that's my default, is to only change based off of stack depths and board texture. But if someone's really, really crazy, then there is also the exploitable aspect where I will start taking exploitable sizes where I do mix it up and I do different things. But until they give you a reason to do that, hey, what's up, Killing Bird? Thank you for them bits. Hope your evening's going well. You got another streamer in here with you.
Yeah, I watch Killing Bird sometimes. I like his stream. I like the drinking. It's pretty funny sometimes.
So, anyways, I would be definitely going a smaller sizing on this particular board. I don't really think it serves a purpose. And especially from an exploitable standpoint, you'd want to be smaller if you were mixing up your sizings there. I love isolating limpers here. And now, I might be a little bit ambitious from this position, but I just love doing it. Literally my favorite thing in the world. Usually they're indicating a pretty weak range. And if you consider the possibility of someone flopping a pair is 1 in 3, if you can get, that's the keyword, isolate them. If you get them isolated in position, you should be winning the pot more often than not. Because it's hard for them to flop a pair. But even if they do flop a pair, maybe you'll flop something better. Or maybe you'll get multiple streets to barrel. Things like that.
Yeah.
I don't have all the big cubs and that kind of fancy stuff set up in my current coaching layout. I need to fix that. All right, so we got aces. These are going to be pretty hard to mess up. Although, if you're this is literally one of the weirdest spots someone could put you in with aces is when they
they just click it back.
Main click. Obviously, it's a good thing, but deciding what is optimal is different. And a lot of it depends on the stack depth. If you're shallower, it would be a no-brainer flat, in my opinion. At this depth, you could definitely 4-bet. Looking at the stack, okay, so if you flat here, right, the pot's going to be about 1K. And you'll be about 5K effective, so 5 to 1 pot. So if he goes check on the flop, the most you'd probably be able to bet on the turn is like 6 to 800, which would then leave you with about a 24 to 2600 or 22 to 2600 pot on the river, and then it's about like 1.7 to 1 stack to pot. So that's like one consideration is how future streets would line up if you did flat this and it went check on the flop. I could go either way with re-raising this or with flatting it. We did raise on a gun, which even against someone who is silly enough to bream and click it, they will usually have enough awareness of that. So, I mean, it's close. It's close. I could argue either way. If I was to re-click it here, I would make it probably like 1100. But I wouldn't hate flatting either. Okay. I would just move on that flop. It's even though that flush draw is wet enough and strong enough for his range. Like the only hands that like miss completely are really like king jacks and king queens. Like even queen jack makes straight draws and things like that. Now he could have some ace jack and ace queen, so those are less likely because you block those hands. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and when someone's playing this silly, you can go any sizing in the world. That's fine. Now we just jam, and he has ace jack somehow.
Yeah.
Because that's like a nut flop for ace jack. Excuse me. Nice little gift for you. That's the thing. Like people playing that silly, you can do anything you want. This is actually one of my raise combos when I first won. I have a lot of limp, but I really like my weak king X's as raise combos. It blocks some of his 3-bet range, has high card equity. It doesn't really play that well out of position. Okay, so we do bet. You can bet once here. It's a reasonable part of your range to continue because not all of your hands will have equity. And it's a board you're not going to necessarily bet everything you raise with, but checking's also not horrible. All right, nice takedown. Several backdoor straight draws. Yes. Yes. I'm just assuming you're talking about the aces hand. Oh, he's talking about ace jack having several backdoor straight draws. I mean, based off what I saw there, I would play this hand with this guy. All day, every day. Every hand I could play with this guy, I want to play with this guy. So I'm definitely not folding this, so if you have the awareness. Normally I might not flat this. I might turn this into 3-bet or fold. Definitely suited combos, like flatting from the cutoff. But, like, knowing what I know of this guy is, like, I definitely am not bluffing him here, though. I mean, he literally just got in, floated ace-jack for 60% pot on the board where he beats nothing. In a scenario, he beats nothing. I can't imagine this ever working. Now, you'll have to have a lot of heart and fire 3 times if you want this to have a chance of working. But I think you're just spewing, betting against that guy. Now, are you spewing betting against everybody? I wouldn't say that, but what little we do know about that guy, I think you just literally are like, hey, these chips feel good to light on fire.
Here's a free bet on the flop you can just take from. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
So, like, we flat him to exploit him, and yet we exploit ourselves. It's just, it's really, really backwards. Just because, and that's something I see from, like, newer and inexperienced players. I'm not saying you always do it, but some people just habitually bet anytime they're checked to.
Right.
And that's not the most optimal way to go, because you still have the lacy bets, and you can actually, harder rep more in that scenario, but he doesn't really even think it's... What happened here? So he raised. I would still probably be getting in here with how absurd he is, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But you lose him from your table, unfortunately. I generally do not open this in this position, but it wouldn't be horrible, especially if it's deep, and you get punished for going pretty wide.
Yeah.
Suited, I would. All right, so we defend. I actually check call one turn here. Flop here. I mean, I would rather have like backdoor diamonds or something like king 9 of diamonds here. But I almost like check raising this combo because it's like 7X's is right in our wheelhouse. And from the fact that he raised from relatively early position, it's not as much in his. When we do have backdoors here, I definitely 100% lead this turn.
Okay.
I mean, okay, so what bluff combos do you have to lead this turn if you don't turn your 9X into a bluff? Do you really want to have to check call this spot?
Yeah.
I mean, you can check call the spot, but is that optimal? Is he really going to raise you off your equity here when there's 2 7s on the board?
Right, yeah. And that's what I was kind of thinking. I think, like, if I bet, like, and he raises like, can I really call kind of deal. But
But you know how
yeah,
hard, I mean, if he raises his board, like, okay, well, what it. A, he shouldn't even raise tens here.
uh-huh.
So, I mean, when you start thinking about that way, he should be flying tens and letting you fire at rivers and raise then, and let you, like, max catch up and leave all your bluffs in. It's a pretty easy lead. But I don't know. I don't know what exactly you're scared of him raising you with, because if he does raise you, he's indicating really huge hands that it's not like the end of the world to even fold a straight draw on a pair
Right.
board.
Yeah. I feel like I would bet it sometimes too, but
No, I
I
mean
don't know
this
that
is like all the time. This isn't sometimes.
yeah.
This is something you need to be betting all the time.
Okay.
And now you're probably gonna just limp showdown ace high on the easiest board ever for you to stab at. King high, so you lose half the pot. Not as bad as it
Yeah.
could have been. I don't think we're on delay, but people are having some pretty delayed reaction to some of this. I thought I turned it off. Just want to make sure. Okay, it is on 0 delay. Okay, I mean, decent flop for you to lead. I mean, it is kind of weird because you turn your hand into a bluff, but it's just so pure. Such a pure board for you to bet. I would be betting like 350, 375 here. Okay.
Why did I not?
I mean, this is going to work out. This is most likely going to work out. I'd actually check call this river. I mean, he could be double checking a queen here, which would be actually very reasonable, because the fact you don't bet an ace queen 3 board is very, very scary.
Right.
Because it's like you got 6-7 here, you're betting an ace queen 3 board.
Mm-hmm.
This is just one of those boards that I'm firing near 100% just for that reason. Anyways, I don't know if I fold there, but maybe I do. Maybe he is taking that line with a queen, which would be very, very reasonable on his part. Okay, so I'm assuming you're just ripping this in, or close to it. Because I mean, this sizing, I would just rip in here, because look at this sizing, right? Look what everyone is around. Like, you're committed to calling all these stacks, so you actually look stronger doing that. You look marginally weaker just jamming. You know, maybe it'll be like, oh, I'll give you my ace jack because maybe that's 7s, 8s, 9s, something like that.
Right.
I mean, it's a thin way of thinking, but it's better than just making that sizing when you're already committed to everything, especially against recreationals. Okay, well, we're just going to fuck off on this flop. Alrighty. Give us a hand to see. Okay, we'll see at least what happens in your big line. Oh, a walk. That's always a nice feeling with the 3
walks
5
walks are nice, especially when you have like 4 big blinds. Feels way better.
Okay, well, we might have had an interesting spot here, but we didn't.
Okay, yeah. So like, do you think that that's an ISO from the under the gun
Absolutely
jam?
not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no,
not.
me neither. I was just checking.
Absolutely not. Not against. Not against a 13 big blind jam. You are sufficiently behind that range with many people go behind you. Even if you're in the big blind here, I would not call a 10 big blind jam with this hand.
Yeah, no, me neither. But when you said this could have been interesting, I thought you meant it could have been interesting until that dude called.
No, it could have been an interesting open spot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I didn't realize it gotten deeper. I thought they were all going to be on like a 16, 17, 18 stacked up.
Yeah.
We're pretty comfortable fold.
Mm-hmm.
This wouldn't be that wide, because there's 2 people missing on the table, so it looks under the gun, but it still would be on the wide side. I don't know if you take it or not. So there's some tables I'll take it at, especially if there's like a very whaley player in the big blind. I would absolutely go on my way to take spots like that. But on your standard table, you do not need to necessarily take that. Okay, so we just don't play a hand for a while. You could if the guy was letting you see a lot of flops, like limp here and stab at everything, but it's not necessary that combo.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably actually check back this flop, but betting is not horrible. And punished.
Yeah.
I'd raise that and punished.
Yeah.
It's like you don't play a hand forever, and then it's like,
I get punished 3 times in a row. I remember rewatching this.
It was kind of funny. You don't play a hand for like 3 rounds, and then you open 3 times in a row. You get.
Yeah, they're just like, what the fuck is this kid doing? I'm gonna stick it down his throat.
Who's having a party in the background? As my my wife and her like family is over downstairs. Surprised you guys can hear that, but I don't know how audible it is. All right, so we were gonna defend. Now we're not. How do you win this tournament? Where do you get chips at? You just see
I can't remember. There's a big hand coming up.
Okay, so this is interesting.
Yeah, I think I just fold.
Really?
Not all the time, but
I mean, I don't fold all the time, but it just I mean, it feels. I mean, it is in the. I mean, it's weird. It is a weird stack because you're right on the border of just jamming.
My thought there is with my stack size, it's like kind of like a jam or fold spot. Like I'm like
but
most of the hands I'm gonna play there.
There was the reason I don't pass on it though. It is a profitable jam. That's why I said, This is actually an ace 3 off plus jam here on 15 big blinds with a 10% ante. Now, to be fair, at 16 it becomes ace 7 off, so it's literally just straddling the line and it's only slightly profitable. But we do have 2 people that are on the tight side from what stats we can see here at 19, 13, and at 28. That I would be taking this. And it's not like, it's early enough where it's just like, okay, we can play pretty close chippy V. Now, if you have like some whales around you and stuff like that, you might be like, okay, well, we're not going to take a marginal spot. But I would have been alright with it. So this is also interesting because you could actually limp if he's on aggressive size, or you could just rip it in. Like many other options. I probably lean towards limping on this stack def, but I'm pretty comfortable playing out of position post flop within reason. Not so that you want to. The idea is that they do raise. So folding there. So we are jamming this still. We would have open jammed this had it folded to us, but we're still jamming this. Never mind. We can just fuck off now.
Yeah, I mean that dude raised, so obviously it was a fold now. But I think I didn't know like in spots like that I should be jamming. Like I mean I might sometimes, but I usually do pass up on that spot.
Do not pass up on this spot. It's an absolutely fantastic, amazing spot. What's up, Ryan Blue? Good to see you, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while. So like in this kind of spot, just to go over it, it goes back to I love attacking limpers unless they only have like a trap range. Most of that money is dead. Like, they're just not having much of a limp call 15 big blind range. So if you're already open jamming it without that limp, you just made more profit from the fact that he did limp. Now, if they're running like a 24-20, right? Someone who's super, super aggro, and they just randomly throw in the limp, you can be a little bit scared. But besides that, we can look at these stats right here, right? So we can see that his VPIP from early position is 31, and his raise first in is 8%. So he's played 4 hands from this position, and he's raised 1. That means that he's already limped 3 other times. So he's already showing us that the majority of his limps are not traps. So if we just look at that, I don't know if that shows up on your guys' screen when I bring that up. I'm clicking on the advanced stats that we can see here, and I guess you cannot see with the layering, but it's a very easy jam. And you can just see he's going to bet and he's going to fuck off. It's just dead money on the ground, and you can't be skipping one of those spots.
Yep.
And look, he just limps again. You don't want to attack that? You don't want to attack that weakness? You want to attack that free money? Like, stop passing those spots. And he raises. Oh, wow. Okay. I probably would just flat that, especially with how passive he is, but that's fine. I mean, it's not ever horrible.
Okay.
Wouldn't have been my decision, but it's better than folding. That's for sure. Okay, let's see, we get to defend the king 2 suited. Okay, so we do. God, it's such a pure turn for us to lead into. We have like the exact opposite of a hand with equity here.
Right.
So like we could lead into this. Although you could also check, and if he checks back, we could also bomb rivers at the same time. That's another way to play, because it's still a hard turn for him to have the lay c-bet on. Although he doesn't have one there. By the way, guys, we're reviewing Silkhandlez. He has his own Twitch channel that he streams from sometimes. So give him a follow and check him out. I'm assuming you just jam here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's easy one. I'm assuming you folded that. And then you're just jamming this. Good. Got one of those flips.
Yes, sir.
You ever check raise this?
Yeah.
You have like literal close to perfect bluff hand here because how many bluffs can you have?
Right. Yeah.
Like 10-8 of hearts is like just slightly better. You're literally as wrapped around the 9 as you can be. So if you're gonna have check raises of 9s here or flats of 9s, this is a good hand for you to be bluffing with, especially with the position you raise it from. He doesn't have many 9s in his range, and you have all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you even if you raise to 2300 here, 2400, he can't just recklessly rejam you here when you could be getting in a flush draw.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually check raise this all day, every day. And the reason we check this combo rather than say I don't know, what else could you have, like a 4-5, is because of the equity you merge into, like a jack of spades, a 7 of clubs. We just merge into so much more potential equity on the turn. Now, obviously, we'd rather have like a gut shot or something like that, but it's just not possible on this board. If we can't check raise this combo, we would just always have strength when we check raise. Hey, Thrash, did you hear about Lappy last night? He went on tilt and lost like 1.1k. It was insane to watch. In what did he lose 1.1k? I definitely do not just jam this. I raise call this. Dude, my friend just put 10k in Bitcoin for Bitcoin. Did some crazy investment website. My mind is blown. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Must be nice to have that much money to just throw around, though. So, my question to you is, why would you do this?
I don't know.
Let's get to the root of the problem and why you would do this.
Like less than 20 big blinds. I figure if I have like 5s on the button, like it can't be like really a losing play. I mean, I might miss out on some value, but I feel like it's just
you miss out on heaps of value. You're correct.
Right.
You're correct. This is a plus EV jam, but it's far from the most plus EV play, and that's the problem with the hand.
And this goes to me with like not being so great post flop, like.
But it's not even about post flop. You're gonna have a lot less flats. You're only gonna have flats from like a 12 big blind stack there, and he might just rip it in on you. So what you're actually, let me just go over what you're actually accomplishing by raising here. You are most likely making 2s, 3s, 4s to fold that would 100%, near 100% of the time, rejam you. I think it's a pretty safe assumption to make, which you do not want to happen. Ace 2, Ace 3, Ace 4, Ace 5, you also are getting 2 fold that will most likely rejam you. And you don't want that to happen either. Now, on the plus side, is you get, Ace 6s and maybe some Jack 10s and, Queen Jacks to fold. But you're still just flips against those hands. You're getting tons of hands that you dominate to fold, and 6s call. So you're not accomplishing getting any hands that dominate you to fold.
Right, yeah.
So that is why it is so far removed from being the most optimal play here. And, you might be in an awkward spot post-flop, it's just because if you always avoid awkward spots, you are missing lots of equity.
Okay, and if I did min raise and this is awkward, jammed his stack, that would be a call, I'm assuming, right?
What was he playing? $100 sit and goes on Ignition or something out to Phobia, or is he playing on ACR? What'd you say? Still can?
So if I open like min raise 5s on the button there, and
we snap
this
call.
is awkward. Okay, all right, cool.
I mean, he just wanted to gamble, but that's besides the point.
I remember seeing that. I was like, what? What just happened?
All right, defend this. Call at least one street. Good. It's a horrible turn. This is a turn that we give up on. Okay, that's very nice of him. We do not turn this into bluff. We call this turn this into most likely a check fold. Yeah, that's fine. The queen turn now it's a weird sizing that he's polarizing the range a little bit more by going like quite that big. Hard for him 9x there.
Ooh, I think that this is a weird call.
Ryan Blue, if he wanted to double his Bitcoin, he should be playing. He should be investing that in white ball. Okay, awkward, but I still call at least one here. It's also an awkward spot for a limper here. He did limp, right? Is a limped around pot?
Yeah, I think so.
I would not believe Jay will shit if he bet there. I would have called him. Now, Streetwise can obviously have 6x here. Although it does he with his sizing, but I'd probably give this up. Okay, interesting. And we fold. Good to see the hands.
Or let's so that guy kind of made it like an easy fold, but like would I see bet there if it was check to me? Do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
On that dry board. I mean, it's not that dry relative to what they're flooding, because like Jack 10s and 10 9s become straight draws and Jack 9s.
Mhm.
But yeah, you would. You would. Oh, I definitely wouldn't be opening this. Why are we opening this? Do you have a sound reason behind it?
I guess not really. No, I don't. Sometimes I just open up a little too late, I think.
I mean, this just seems like frustration. You're just randomly clicking a button.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm opening that.
Consistency is key in this. I mean, this isn't a, this is a coach said not like a Lappy oriented stream. We can talk about Lappy more another time. I mean, great flop. If I knew that a flop would come, and knowing it's 3-bet, I'd open this all day. But
yeah,
I probably bet this combo. Oh, you could check it. I keep some of my 9x's in my range. Hey, DJ Plays Poker, thank you for the bits, buddy. Now you have to start moving on this turn. There's enough equity he merged into spades, Jack 10s, 10 7s. Don't let him realize equity with his gut shots of his 7x's and 6x's. 8 7s, 8 6s, 5 6s, 5 7s. This would be a huge mistake to double check this hand. Okay, at least you do that. What is this? What is this? Like what has possessed you now all of a sudden to start going so loose?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just it was like short-handed, and sometimes I just open up.
Sometimes you
like
just hate
that.
money.
Yeah, or I mean no, but
okay, because really, really tough to be making a profit opening that when there's not like a bubble dynamic. Now, there's a bubble dynamic. Yeah, okay, maybe. I mean, maybe it's just a perfect table. We remember earlier on this same table, you opened 3 times in a row. You got 3-bet jam 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Lady Hooks. I mean, I don't open 3s either, but I'm just like... You're opening King 7 suited from this spot, but you're not opening Ace 4 suited?
Yeah. Or... Yeah, I guess I'm just random. I don't know.
Okay, so you call. It's fine. But you shouldn't be random. There's no reason for it. You can have a structured plan from every spot and then just slightly deviate from it somewhat when you know it's like, oh, it's a really aggro table, it's a really tight table, it's a really passive table, there's a whale in the big line. Start from a more solid base and don't open King 7 suited under the gun. I can work on you the ranges, but take my money. Thank you for the sub, Ryan Blue. Appreciate you, buddy. I hope the Genesis is treating you well.
Take my money.
Take some of the Genesis money. So we don't have anything looking at right now. I mean, you definitely could open this. This will be way better open than the King 7 suited because you are from the hijack. And you do have what appears to be a passive big blind, but no. And then Queen 7 suited is like...
Yeah, back to it. I don't know. I just sometimes I
mean,
like
at least you're picking suited cards, but it's still so damn... It's so damn absurd. I'd actually be limp jamming this combo, or limp calling. Toss that summon to my life. I'd actually check call this flop. All day, every day.
This is kind of a weird one.
Well, it's gonna get weird.
We'll see what you think after he makes his move here.
6K a month to quit. 6K a month to quit my job. You're making that off of Genesis? That's sick if true. Or if I understood that right, I'm not doubting you. I mean, now you just rip it in.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's what I did. All right.
You're double gutted with an over.
Yeah.
And now we're just gonna jam. Easy. Nice life. Oh, just acing back to back.
Easy game.
I'd probably just rip this in as well with these stacked ups behind. Hey,
right.
Depot Pro, how you doing, buddy? It's inconsequential. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Really nice that this guy reopens a betting for you just to jam.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. I want to gamble just puts in something stupid because that's what he does. That was the King 7 suited guy or something earlier, right? Or no, that was another guy.
No, yeah, that was a different guy.
Poker's dead. Poker is dead. You can defend this with anti-discipline.
Yeah, I think I do.
I would float one here. Float one here with the backdoors around that. I mean, I could even check raises. He should have, he should have some 4s and 5s in his range, but you will have more. Anyways, it's not the end of the world. If you miss that spot, I don't care that much. So let's re-isolate that. It's all in for less than that big. I don't think you need to go that big. I think it's unnecessary. I think 3K would have just done just as good, but it's better than not raising. Alright, so let's open that. Okay. Let's not open that. Good.
Nice.
Nice, we don't just open those absurd range from early position. Alright, let's, okay. It's fine.
Surprised I didn't bet that.
I'm alright with you not betting it. It is, even though it's your second best 10, it is one of your better combos to check because of how it merges on turns. Like any jack, any ace, any 9, you have a straight draw as well as clubs. Bring you a flush draw, so how it connects with turns, even though it's your second best 10, is reasonable to check it back. Your best combo to check back here would be Jack 10. So it does slightly better because both a 9 and a Queen leave you with open enders, and you're getting less value from less hands because Queen 10 gets value from Jack 10, but Jack 10 now all of a sudden doesn't get value from Jack 10 or Queen 10. So this is weird. Very, very, very weird lead into you. Because, like, in this kind of spot, if I was him and I got a nutted ass hand, I would be looking at either like check raising turn or check raising river, because it's like, what kind of hands do you check back on this flop? Like 9s and 7s and things like that, you just fold. So he's targeting like just basically queens and jacks and some of this, but you also have like the ace X's and you have like the 7-9s and 6-7s and things like that. You might start moving on now, although you probably might bet some of those on the flop. But I'd be looking for a check raise because you are gonna have lots of ace jacks and ace queens. I actually would not check raise. I would check call and check raise river with a nutted hand here. Or what this more smells like, he's trying to move like a weak or 2 pair, but he blocks some of those. So it's just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably don't fold to that, but he's clearly arrayed from these stats. But then it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I really just hate this stomp lead in this. Played some poker today. First time in a while. It was fun. Made some money playing limit hold'em cash games. That's my specialty. Yeah, I like limit hold'em cash games too. Ryan Blue. You should look at their Duck Hunt promo going on right now. And if anyone didn't know, ACR started a $500 reload bonus this week. Which tournament was this? This was the $11 2.5K D Poker Pro. 11.5K. I mean, this is a little bit better, bro. A little bit better. I mean, there's one dynamic you have to realize. You have almost no fold equity against the big blind. If he was what I was gonna say is if he was at one big blind, this would be god awful because you're never winning an uncontested pot. The fact that he has to put in 3 big blinds makes it slightly better because you're getting against a potentially real garbage hand like that. That you would like if you have one big blind and he gets to realize those equity for one big blind is different.
Right.
So you don't. But when you get it for 3 big blinds, it makes it a little bit better. So it's close on that one at least. Okay, so we got a nice little defend hand. Alright, now we just get... Whoa. Okay. That's ambitious as fuck.
Yeah.
It seems like you just got tired of this guy's shit. And then rather than taking the spots you were supposed to take, like a 10-8 on the 9-9-2, and that other hand, you're just like, well, I'm going to check raise this motherfucker.
I think at this point, too, we're also like 6 or 7 away from the money as well.
But I just don't get your decision making is so inconsisent. So you get much better spots earlier to mess with them, and you take this one because, like, okay, so he didn't just raise. Okay, so all right, 3 things. If you're close to the money, he knowingly raised into the big stack. He didn't just raise from like early position or late, like the button. He raised from the low jack, which isn't like that easy to bet against. He probably doesn't bet his queens, jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s. So literally, you're just hoping that he has like his 6-7 suit, his 8-7 suit, his 10-9 suited, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Now, the one saving grace of this is maybe he will check back his ace queens and ace jacks and ace 10s, which would be very reasonable here, and his king queens and king jacks, which would make this a little bit better if you knew that for sure. But it still seems very ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
You still moving to Vegas Trash? Yeah, that's the plan, Ryan Blue. Still the plan, or yeah, sit and go monster. I stream every Friday at least for my home game, for the most part. I'll probably miss one eventually. That would have been a jam though, blind versus blind, the 4-7 suited. Okay, so we're just forwarding it. So if we really are in the money bubble, this would be a more reasonable time to be opening these kind of hands. And you get punished. And you can open this. How deep is he? We wouldn't even 3-bet this if you wanted. Oh, no, we cannot 3-bet this. Look at how small the big blind is. He's raising the big blind. He's not always folding. So, but this would be a reasonable 3-bet combo. So you get the big blind to just put in anything like he did. So it makes it a little bit worse. 3-bet that. Oh, you did defend that, okay. You can defend very, 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 very wide against what is essentially a min-raise with antes out there. So this isn't horrible, like I'm normally defending like 85% here. Mm-hmm. So I don't hate it. I just assumed you didn't. Now we would just check back this flop. You're going to see people, like, it is connected, but it's not that connected. He could have just led here with any 2 cards. So you're going to see too high frequency of check raises. Because I do understand the thought process of wanting to not let someone realize overcard equity here and just betting, getting it over with. But I just feel like I mean, look what he just leads and bombs into that turn. He bombs on that turn, he's not playing like something on the flop, but there's check call or check raise. I mean, it makes some sense with like, what, ace jack, but like even king jack was 2 overs and a gut shot here. Interesting spot. Probably just fold. Because the hands that aren't already like merged, the fact you can bet the flop, probably double barrel no matter what. And he is going to have like a lot of strength here. It's not horrible, but it's like, you know, and then what? I mean, that's a problem with so many rivers. And then what? Why I'm like getting away from that turn. Now this is like a 10-7-4-2 board, maybe. Oh, there's just too many prompts on this river. Yeah, it's just a coaching session. Sit and go monster. We're reviewing Silkhandlez here's $11, 2.5K. Wow. Okay. Kind of interesting. You're kind of like targeting basically. So like. Okay. So you're targeting like his king jacks, his jack tens, stuff like that to fold. I probably don't do this. I don't absolutely hate it. But it's just thinking about, okay, well, what type parts of this range does he take a check bet half pot line with? And some of them are king jacks or jack 10, but they're also queen 10s and maybe even ace queens. Although probably more hands that do have jacks in them, less so than queens. But he could have queen jack. He was looking to check raise as well. Just interesting.
Yeah.
I don't absolutely hate it. I like him better than the call on the turn, for what it's worth. But because you might even just bet his queen combos there on the river when you indicate showdown equity on the turn.
Yeah.
And you will have 6 X's in your range for the bottom end of the straight. This is weird because he has 9 big blinds.
I think I fold, honestly.
I think it's fine to fold here. I think that I've seen this too much from the population that they're literally just trying to tell you that they're stronger than normal in the spot. They think that they're letting more hands in instead of actually increasing their fold equity. Hey, Machiavelli Superstar, how you doing, buddy? LMAO student playing better than you, Thrash, says the dark side.
Oh, the dark side's in here? Which one's he? Oh,
I don't know. He's just someone trolling.
Dude, well, you know who he is, right? I mean,
no.
He's like he plays like every MTT. He plays all the time.
No, I know. Like, I played with him, but I thought you were telling me he was like.
No, I didn't mean. Do you know him personally? I wanted to know if you were familiar with his screen name.
No, well, yeah, really spewy, but that's besides the fact. I mean, that's probably why he thinks he's playing better than you're playing better than me, but it's all right. Alrighty. So we defend here. This guy really loves raising your big blind.
Yeah.
I'm definitely check raising this flop.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, I assumed he just merged on the turn. That's pretty sick. Nice re-4 outer.
Yeah, easy game.
I actually prefer limp raising this hand, but opening up as well isn't horrible. But what do you do when he jams?
I'd probably fold. But it depends. Like, he seems a little too deep. Like probably like a couple months ago, 3 months ago, I would call. But as I've kind of like been working harder on my game, I think it's too high variance of a spot to call that many chips. Small blind versus big blind. When like he can shove a lot of hands here and it isn't bad. You know what I mean? Like obviously it's like he has 7-8 and I call and it's like yeah I'm ahead, but it's like I'm like 60% to like lose half my stack. Or 60% to win, 40% to lose half my stack. So it's kind of like I kind of pick my battles in those spots. It's just kind of like an edge pass, I guess.
Yeah, the troll's out in full force. I mean, I don't really care. I've been there, done that, established myself. I mean, that's the funny thing about MTTs. There's just such an ego war, and it's like, okay, well, MTTs are literally the softest form of poker online, so keep it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't really get any spots with these.
That's kind of that's a close spot for me with the Queen 8, but I think I do.
Well, that's why I haven't said anything. Is it like the pure bubble? You think the bubble's passed? What do you think? I definitely find some calls here against some opponents.
Yeah, I do sometimes, but I don't think it's quite into the money yet, but I could be wrong. But if you had like a little bit less, I might have called. But I definitely thought about this one for
I mean,
like a minute and
when I
just
say
kind
that,
of.
I probably do find a call here. Especially when you start thinking, does he really just open jam aces, kings, queens? Now, it's a
Right.
small part of his jam range, but if you start eliminating at least a little bit of the range, it does help in these kind of spots.
Hmm.
But is he jamming 6-7 suited, 5-4 suited? The answer to that is yes. At least that's my assumption.
Right. Yeah. That's. I
Is
would
he
assume
jamming
that
queen
too.
2 offs? I mean, we do have a suited combo here.
I mean, if I was him, I would probably jam queen two off. I'd probably jam just about any two if I was him.
Okay, so. And we already see that. We can see, you guys can't see on this side, but we see um, a HUD here on our side that he's running on 1917, which even indicates more that he's going to have a more correct jam range. That I wouldn't be folding this combo here. I got a little distracted on the A6 suited hand responding to people, but yeah, I prefer much more limping the A6 suited there and either turning to a limp jam or a limp call and kind of disguising my range a little bit there. Oh, it's a lot more awkward, but like I said, you just can't. He can jam like the world on you. You can't call. I do call that, yes, even though he is nitty. Pretty sick. So much for defending. Definitely folded that. I mean, 3-bet range gets a lot tighter when they're raising through like a 5 big blind, like a small blind. Not to like an extreme extent, but when the guy can just randomly decide to put in Jack 10 suited and we're not seeing an uncontested showdown, it hurts a little bit on the equity. So this is just really awkward.
Hmm. I can't remember what I do here.
And it's not awkward against everybody. It is awkward against this guy because I have played with this guy and he's super nitty.
Hmm.
And I'd be scared out of my I'd be scared out of my mind when this person flats me. He's just definitely one of the biggest nits. I mean, I probably do seep at this. The thing about this board is that 6x isn't strong for either person's range. Now, if this was a
Yeah.
big blind flatting, 6x is way stronger for his range and is yours. But, like, I love my girlfriend here should not have any, like... I mean, he could have 6-7 suited, but this is very unlikely. I think that's fine. Still weird. So even the Jack X merges with some of what he's, like, flat folding, like, or flat, some of his weak flat range. And you have another weird spot. I probably leave this down, but I definitely call from the big line.
Mm. Yeah, I think I'd fold here, but I don't know if it's good because he only has 10 big blinds. But I do know I fold.
You did fold.
I did fold, yeah, and I usually don't fold if they only have 10 big blinds, but I don't know. I felt like it was too much of my stack to call.
Too much of your stack. That's a weird way to put it. I mean, part of the reason is part of the problem is you almost raised 2.5x. You don't need to quite be this sizing where you do equity commit yourself higher than not. But we can see this right in front of us that we're getting 1.85 to 1, which means we need 35% equity. So even as kings here, we have 25%. So it's a very hard spot to find a fold.
Right.
Now, at the same time, he does need some of that king-queen part of his range. He needs some of those, 7s, 6s, 5s, 4s, part of your range to make a call here to get to that 35% in total number. But it is for sure awkward. I probably don't fold, but I get why you did. But stop raising that damn big at that stack depth. You're not really, are you getting that much more fold equity by making 6,900 versus 6,500?
No, yeah, I should. I agree. I should definitely keep it just over a min raise, or just min raise, I guess. But I sometimes I just that's another thing I change is I'll go through like 2 months where I'm just min raising all the time, and then I go like a little bit over a min raise, and yeah, I
Well, that's
play
what I was
head
talking about
games
with like
mostly.
consistency with you. But this is
Yeah.
for sure interesting because I was on the button. I'd for sure be isolating this with this hand, but we are in the big blind and disguising our range, so it's okay to check back. You could also just rip it. You could raise it. You could just do basically everything here, and it would be okay.
Yeah, I was just kind of suspicious of him limping under the gun, but
Sure.
I didn't
No,
really.
that's why I
Yeah,
say you can do anything there, and it'd be okay.
right.
Interesting. I probably would check raise at least that combo. Not all my tens. I'm gonna have enough jack tens and 10 9s and leave at least one in my range there because I do target other 10 X's, and it's gonna be a hard board for him to barrel off. But maybe this was exactly what he's gonna do. Unfortunately, we do not. Wow, people are so bad.
Yeah.
Like you literally took his like almost his worst turn to bluff. Like two bluffs because he even blocks your straight draws with the nines.
Hmm.
But it's not even a bluff. Like it's his value, and he's protecting against your eight
Yeah, I
sevens when
think.
you have not when he has nines to block that
Right.
in a club. It's
I
pretty amazing.
I do what he just did sometimes is I'll bet two streets so I can check back the river for free. You know what I mean? Like seed at my own price, but
I
I'm
mean
not
that's a
defending.
horrible hand to do it with.
First of all, I would never limp nines under their
Well,
gun
thank you.
with 12 big blinds, but definitely like if I did raise or whatever, like sometimes I will play it the way he did, like just bet flop and turn, and then with the intention of checking back the river, but not all the time. But
Definitely an interesting hand. And those kind of people, when you do check raise that board, do often get in nines.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, for sure, yeah. If I would have played it that way, he definitely would have gone with it.
Which is why I picked that combo as a check raise, and I'll have enough jack. Like I said, I'll have enough jack tens and 10 9s to just be calling, and we can get that better range in. I actually sometimes, well, we're not gonna go over button limp range, but especially from like spinning goes, this is one of the hands I like limping the buttons with, as well as
Mhm.
like hands like aces for bouncing. That's okay. I would definitely open it without
Coming
going
up,
too late.
I do have a random like button limp range I do against that dude because he kind of starts playing back at me a lot, and
He
it's
should play
coming.
back at you once you realize that you like 2.4x fold to a 10 big blind jam.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm assuming you complete here. It wouldn't be that bad to isolate it.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay, it's reasonable. Nice hand to see.
I think I just
That's fine. We don't really have many stats on that any bell guy, but I know he's very aggro from playing with him myself. Man, I love my girlfriend. Really loves playing with you.
yeah. Actually, that is true. Obviously, I see him all the time. It does seem like he does play pots with me. I'm sure I've maybe like barreled off against him a couple times or something, but seems like he definitely wants to play pots with me.
I would leave the swap. With this equity and through with potting, even they fly you, definitely have disguised equity we can merge into. And we already know that he's like flat folded a similar board, Jack 6 6. Not similar ish. Well, it gets more awkward here for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I barrel.
Are you gonna do an end of the tournament wrap up and summary of what you think? Um, well, I'll tell you what I think about where the state of his game is and stuff like that. If that's what you mean. Um, and my question is, well, what are you trying to accomplish with this barrel? You're trying to get him off of sevens, eights, nines? Because that's a much harder
Yeah,
turn to get him off fours and fives. Although you do block fours and you do block fives.
right. I guess to get him to fold better sometimes, and then kind of like if he does just call, I guess I do. I'm gonna
But
have to have
does he
a good
fold?
amount
But
of.
like, what better does he fold? Sevens, eights, nines. Like just a few combos. I
Yeah.
mean, given the fact that he flats, he's going to be more weighted to those hands than like say aces or kings, especially this deep. But
Right.
like what bluffs does he have? Did he float backdoors here? Does he have like queen jack of spades? That would be a reasonable float. And it all depends on what the guy's fold to c bet is, right? If we know that he's very sticky and he will flat queen jack of spades here, I don't hate it. Although I almost
Yeah.
prefer a check call than a lead.
Mhm.
Because you would turn that into a bluff on the turn, well, then you're playing for stacks. So basically, what you do if you bet this here is you're telling him, oh, I really don't want to play for stacks. Because in fact, I
Mhm.
even check aces here on this turn and could even rejam a river, like jam in on a river based off of how these hands play with ranges. Very, very interesting.
Yeah. He probably just.
I mean, but that just be. I mean, I didn't say it was never going to work. There were hands in his range that you're targeting, like his 7s, 8s, and 9s, as well as potentially those like Queen Jack of Spades. Oh,
yeah.
Wait, what happened here? You're committed. Okay.
This. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you have to call. You have to call.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, I thought he jammed. Oh no.
No, he just 3-bet. Yeah.
So why this combo?
I don't know. He had. I guess.
Yeah, he attacks you a lot, but this is where you ask yourself, am I going to have better combos? Am I going to have Queen Jack suited, Queen 10 suited, Jack 10 suited, 10-9 suited, Ace Jack suited, Ace Queen offs? Am I going to have like way, way, way better, way more, like with a high frequency? Now, if this is literally like the top of your possible range you defend this against, okay. But, I mean, it's really, really, really wide.
Yeah.
I just figured this was a jam when you called. I had moved on to the next hand.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if I know I'm going to follow that, congratulations. Nice jam.
Yeah.
In fact, this is actually interesting in itself because it's like the wet board for him to continue on. So he's like literally like he's not bet folding ace queen, ace king here, king queen.
Right.
And so he probably wouldn't play 8s or 9s or 7s this way, so he is quite attacking you quite wide.
Maybe he had like a random like ace 7 suited or something.
Yeah, it makes sense. I actually checked back this flop. Flop way stronger for the big blinds range than yours, and we still have equity that we can often call donkleys on the turn. Like his best donkley cards a lot of times are going to be 6s, 7s, 8s that merge with your range, and clubs that merge with your range. Things like that. Oh wait, he's 17k. Okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I was not really looking at his stack depth. Then it's okay. It's fine. You can do whatever the fuck you want at that point. I was like, why did you bet that side? Oh, he's short. Oh, okay, I missed that part. Alright, so I'm guessing you just give this up. But I never know, because you did check raise a king ace board.
Yeah, just...
I don't fold this, especially with how limpy this guy is. Like, we've already seen him limp under the gun. He's not attacking limps. We're getting such a sick prize, 4-1. And we can just stab it every flop. Absolutely not folding to it, this type of opponent. At least limping.
Oh yeah, this is the spot where I said I'd...
Wait, this is literally like... This is a terrible hand to choose to do this with.
Yeah, I just didn't want to get, like... If I get 3-bet by the dude that keeps 3-betting me, it's a tough spot to, like... Cause
it is not a tough spot. You just rip it in his face.
Yeah, alright.
This seems like almost like scared poker. Like, I would like it more like 10-9 up. This is a type of hand where you're like, oh, well, he is going to be... 3-bet ripping 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and things like that. Is he just going to rip in 30 big blinds of your limp with that hand? Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I can't discount the fact that he might do that. I mean, I'd bet this flop. You should have 8x's in your limp range.
Yeah, I play this one super passive.
Now you should be betting. I mean, I don't get it. Like, such an unnecessary loss of a hand.
Yeah.
And this is where you go back to consistency. Sometimes you just seem to be like, well, things have gone wrong, and I'm just going to randomly adjust by clicking some random-ass button. Like, I just don't get any of this.
Yeah, I should have bet the flop for sure.
And if you weren't going to bet the flop, you should have bet the turn.
Right.
There's at least equity you can charge on the turn in a 3-way pot.
Yeah.
There are claws, and there are straight draws, and there are those kind of things.
I guess my thought with not betting the turn is like it's like not the best card, and I kind of was honestly thinking. I think I was thinking to myself at the time when I was like, okay, I should bet this turn, and then I was thinking like, well, they would probably check a 10 here, and I feel like if I bet like I can't really put the
You'd probably
once.
they'd probably check a 10, but you know how hard it is for them to actually have a 10 in their range in their hand here.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna happen, of course, but I don't know. I hate the hand overall. But it's just like one mistake into another mistake into another mistake, a snowballing effect, where the spot got more and more and more awkward as you went, where it never should have been awkward.
right. And like that limp there is like very uncharacter. Like that's like a one every 1,000 times I would do that. You know what I mean? It's just
Like,
that
I'd
was
rather
just
limp 8 slice suit here than I would 7s.
right.
There's a vicious flat by him with the king 9 off, with you
Yeah.
behind. Very, very ambitious. How deep are they? I can't see the stats.
He's got 119.
Okay, so
This pot's really weird. I don't know if I played this one good, but I do win.
it's fine. I mean, you could even argue jamming here, but it's fine. That is weird.
Yeah.
And it's also a weird sizing at the flop. I don't know why you need to be 60% on these stack depths.
Yeah.
You do like your weird spots.
Yeah, constantly running into weird spots.
I mean, you're gonna constantly win in weird spots, but there's some of them of your own making.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I constantly do that to myself.
So you have to have 29% equity to call here, so it is actually really, really hard for you to fold.
Yeah.
Because he is going to have flush draws. Like, flush draws and over, you still have way over 29% equity. But that's kind of gross, because sometimes queen X's and things like that. But does he just jam his queen X on this flop? That seems, it seems like a pretty easy flat of a queen X on this flop from him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Haxers, how you doing, buddy? So you do actually have to call this spot, but it is just really, really gross, and I really do dislike the sizing, but... Alright, well, you did... One thing you did accomplish was...
make it...
Well,
I think I should make it like 20k into that?
Yes.
Or like what?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's a dry enough board. Stack depths are low. Like, usually I'm setting up some kind of side where I could at least potentially double barrel, triple barrel, triple barrel, ideally. But my default is 33 to 44% C-bets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's exactly what he had. It was 2 overs and a flush draw.
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing, right? You need 29% equity. It would be interesting to actually run this. So if you hit show known cards, on the flop, you have 45% equity. If he ever does it with the queen and you get it in, you have 9% equity. So because you need 29% equity to call, because this is doing 2.47 to 1, it kind of balances out. In fact, he probably doesn't jam most of his queen X's. But you never know, like with these unknown players, if they won't just jamming queen 10 here. But the odds are against it that you do have to actually call this spot. But just weird. Now, if you're final table, you probably don't have to call that spot because of the ICM of it, where you play you don't play as much like chip EV. So yeah, you were 45% to win the hand when you get one in. Nice hold. Nice hold.
Yeah. Easy game.
Why will not change hands?
I think you gotta hit play.
No, it froze up.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, now it's back. I just skipped ahead a bunch of hands because it froze up and I was mashing buttons.
Gotcha.
So this was a sixes, okay. I would open this on the button. Okay. And he doesn't 3-bet you. Look at that. Look what happened to subs. Oh wow, what a flop. Wouldn't it be a horrible slow play flop against someone who's clearly a recreational player, but not horrible to bet either, but it's like, what are you hoping he has? Because you block kings. He would have 3-bet like most of his sixes through queens, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So this is one of the spots where I would go exploit and check this back against him.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my thought process between like betting on when I smash flops like this is just like I would probably bet like a shitload of the time if I had like 8-9 suited too. You know what I mean? So
I know. Well, I know. But this is where we actually switch to an exploitable line against someone who's clearly, for lack of a better word, a fish.
Okay. Yeah.
He has exhibited numerous times that he is actually a fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you say that, but again, that goes back to consistency, because you remember that Ace Queen 3 board earlier, you did not bet when you would have bet like your entire range just bluffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You mean like way early on?
Yeah, way early on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you do contradictory things, it almost feels like by feel. But like I actually would check this and be exploitable against this guy. You just smash it too hard.
Right.
I mean, and if like he merged into hearts on the turn, congratulations, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I would limp this. Remember, he's being very passive, but all right. Can't change what's in the past.
Yeah.
It's fine. How deep are we? Pretty deep. I actually flat this. Excuse me, guys. I felt like I need to sneeze. Like I said, it passed. So okay, yeah, good flat. I would actually just check back this flop. I don't know what you are planning to accomplish if you do bet this. Can you tell me what you think you're accomplishing by betting this?
I guess my thought process is I could take it down some of the times, and if he does call, I have equity. Well, open ender.
But what hands do you take it down versus? What are you accomplishing? Ace Jack doesn't just check fold this.
Yeah, that's true. I guess because hands that I get to fold, I have a better hand then.
Like just Ace Queen, you accomplish Ace Queen and Ace King. That's not much.
Yeah.
You open the door to getting check, like just a huge check raise, and then what? Like he makes it 50K here. What do you do?
Yeah, that'd be a tough spot. I would have to if he did check raise me, I guess I would have to either jam or fold.
For heaps of chips nearing the final table bubble.
Yeah. So yeah, that'd be a gross spot if that happened.
Okay, and now what? I mean, again, you're in an awkward spot just because of your bet, even. Like this would be if you guys want check on this flop. This is a very easy turn to play. If he bets at you, you call. If he checks you could check or bet, and it would be reasonable. Charging some of his equity like Ace Jacks and things like that, and expecting lead bets now from his Queen Jacks and King Jacks and things like that on a turn, easy call. But now what? I mean, now I think it's a check for what it's worth.
Yeah.
But yeah, fine, checking the river. I really wish we could see what he had though. It really sucks.
Yeah.
All right, please. Okay. Well, we didn't get a chance to see it, but I would really, really hope you did not just fold this blind if it limped to you, or folded to you. I hope you at least limped. I think you need more small blind limping in your life.
Yeah. I've always, I mean, because like obviously I've done like coaching sessions with like Matt and stuff, and then like I think I've had a couple with you, and I don't know. I always have every time I limp, I get raised, and then I'm like, I have like ace four suited, and like obviously if the blinds are correct, I can just like jam. Like if I
mean, I'm a poker player myself. Every time I limp, I don't get raised.
Right.
I mean, this is a false statement now. If I don't mean if I limp, and on average someone raises me 30%, I'll go through a period of X amount of hands where people are temporarily running into it and raising me 60%, and then you might think, oh well, I'm going to overadjust and just start raising or folding versus the population, but that's not right. And then there's different player types, right? This is the guy who limped nines under the gun, so if he raised me, I would give him a hell of a lot of credit. He's shown no aggression anywhere ever. That would be very, very, very bad to be folding that Queen 3 off and not at least limping it.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely I do limp sometimes, but I would say for the most part, I either raise or fold small blind versus big blind. But I sometimes I limp more than ever. Like for the while, I thought limping was like the nuts. I was just printing. It seemed like I was printing money every time I was just limping and then leading the flop.
You are printing money. You're printing money versus folding your small blind. I'm not saying you're printing money, right? It's if you fold every small blind, you lose 50 big blinds per 100. It is very hard to. It is very hard to overcome and you actually make chips out of the small blind, but you'll do better than that. So in regards to losing 50 big blinds per 100, you are printing by limping the small blind. So you just said it yourself. Seems like you just went through a rough patch and stopped doing it. Anyways,
Right.
I know this person enough from playing today that I would be playing this hand in one form or another, in terms of 3-betting or flatting. Although I usually prefer having suited combos, but I do know they're on the aggro side. Well, that's something people on the aggro side do. I don't mind it. It would be interesting as hell if they jammed you again.
If he jammed again, yeah. Well, hey, what do you think I should have done if he? I call obviously, or do you think I should have?
Oh, against him I call, but I don't call. I
Yeah.
mean, I think, but that's opponent dependent. Like,
Mm.
and there's even some opponents I'm flatting 8s with against there, but I'm also flatting aces against some opponents there. So I'm probably a little more balanced in that kind of spot. Do you assume this is the final table now?
Yeah, final table.
Okay.
I'm
I flat 9s here. I flat
I
9s
do
here.
that.
But I also flat other hands too. I flat other. That's the thing though, is I have more strength in my world here when I flat. Like you probably flat, you're probably just like 10s, 9s, and 8s here. When I flat, you can't even tell me I don't have ace king when it's a under the gun versus under the gun +2 spot, where I can be inducing jams behind with my ace king and almost practically turning into a bluff when I 3-bet in under the gun versus under gun 1 versus under the gun 2+2 spot. You're almost turning this hand into a bluff. I would check back this flop. Okay, well, it worked. How much is coaching? Expensive, Lowry. Expensive. Expensive. You're getting what I would normally charge $150 an hour for, Travis. But Travis is part of our staking group.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it, man.
He'll tell you that even within our stable, I don't coach 1-on-1 that often. I wish I had more time, but I'm not actively searching out clients either. But if they want to pay that, they want to pay that. I'd be folding that either way, especially on being on the final table. At least see the hands though.
Yeah.
Or not final
I
table
probably
bubble. Ace queen, ace 4, and ace king. If they folded to us, you would have jammed through that king 3. All right, well, you got your buddy where you wanted, that really aggro guy who keeps attacking you. And of course he falls. But he's changed gears against you.
He did. I did notice that. Because this is a final table now, and he did change
But we
gears.
noticed that from a while back after that queen 8 suited hand. So I guess it accomplished something.
Mm-hmm. I misclick here.
You misclick here.
I meant to make it like 43K. I make it fucking 18. And I just smashed my head onto the keyboard. I was like, God damn it, dude.
I mean, I've done that. I've been there, done that. It's gonna happen. It's good to know that that was just a misclick. Now, the interesting part about this is if this guy doesn't flat, what do you do? Once this guy flats, it becomes a no-brainer squeeze. But when he doesn't flat, I sometimes just flat the big blind, and sometimes I re-raise. Against this person who I think is more liable to 4-bet jam light, I would definitely be 3-betting, though.
Right, yeah. Yeah. If that dude folded, I would call sometimes or raise. But I think, against that guy, definitely.
I love tacking, calling passiveness, limping, flat calling. I mean, that's why it's called squeeze. That's why it's called an isolate.
Right.
You're squeezing and isolating weakness.
Mm-hmm.
That you just make a huge profit here, just 3-betting the world. Okay.
And then,
So we just have to do it as played. I do bet this combo queen X. I would check queen jacks and king queens. Most likely keep at least one queen in my range. Now I'm saying this based off of a misclick dynamic. I think with a misclick dynamic, where it's clearly a misclick, you almost have to bet because people will level themselves and maybe try to attack it.
Yeah.
All right, now I think you just. I mean, this is actually interesting because if he has a queen, right, you should stack him on almost every river if you go check here, right? Because how you bet you just jam the river after checking the turn. Does he ever fold a queen and you introduce some bluffs? But again, it's like, well, what bluffs? Because it's hard for him to defend a queen 5-5 board. So again, it's a really, really interesting spot. I think you go either way. I actually like going, or just to cut you off, I actually like going exploitable here and really, really small, and keep in all his pairs, like his 2s, 3s, 4s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and line up a smaller jam on the river. But go ahead, what were you gonna say?
In spots like this where I'm gonna bet for value, like in a stack size like that, I always try to make it seem like he has fold equity. You know what I mean? So I bet like not
Well,
super small, but like small. So just in case he decides to spaz, so he thinks he has equity. Uh, I don't always do it that way, but like
one thing I was just trying to get us across in a spot where you could have more bluffs. It's not necessarily terrible to check this turn. We can get in all his queen X's on the river anyway. But when you actually break down what his range should be here, it's like he has king jack of spades here. Like really, you know. But I know what you're saying. But I also I just like committing him more so than just bluffing because I just don't see him with many bluffs here. I like committing his sixes, sevens, eights, and fours with a little small little cute bet here. We're going very exploitable. I would go smaller than that. But that's okay. And now we jam the river, and he calls with his king-queen. But this is what I'm talking about, right? At this, so say this spot is here, 142. Like this river comes off whatever just came off, and you jam all in on that river, and it was 142 and 113. Is he folding king-queen? Absolutely not.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, when you do with this line, he does that as well. So you might as well bet because there's no bluffs you really introduce. But if there were bluffs you introduce, it would be better to check. So we're talking about a hypothetical spot that doesn't exist there. Because I agree with betting. It's fine to open this up. It's fine to go way wider than normal now if you are the chip leader at a final table. There's tons of ICM. Yeah, I don't hate it. I normally hate it, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I would defend here. Absolutely.
Yeah, I do start to play kind of. I starting to tighten up when we get like 4 and 3 handed.
You going like, bitch?
I not always, but in this particular tournament, I do because I've given up so many spots like this, from playing too aggressive, and
but just because you flat here doesn't mean you have to play a spot necessarily aggressive.
Oh yeah. I wasn't talking about that hand specifically, but I definitely remember tightening up towards the stage of the tournament.
All right, well now we can just fuck off. Would have been an interesting spot otherwise. I'd probably just let it rip.
Jam over and
yeah. I don't love it on the stack depth. It's really awkward, but there's also lots of ICM there. There's even harder for him to call off. There's like 4, 5, 6s.
Mm-hmm.
Just a consideration. I definitely flat this when someone else comes in. This would actually generally be part of my range. I don't defend against the raise, but once that flat comes in, I do flat.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not like the end of the world.
Yeah.
God, what a horrible way to play. Like on that stack depth, okay, I see they're 30 big ones deep, but it's not that bad, actually. I didn't watch the entire hand though. This is actually one of the combos I sometimes look to raise to balance out my small blind raise range to give myself some connectors. Because once it's not suited, I'm not as worried about getting pushed off, and I'll have my like 10-9 suited and things like that as limp calls on the stack depth. But it's okay. I actually checked this combo of 10x. There's some combos like bet, right? You want a little bit of, for the most part, you want most of your 10s to check here, but you want some of your 10x to bet, like your ace 10s and king 10s. But like 10-9 is literally the best combo you can have to check here. And can you explain to us why?
Why
is 10-9 our best combo to check here?
Because we block straight draws, backdoor straight draws with a 9.
We block straight draws and we merge into straight draws on the turn where like a 7x and a 6x.
Oh yeah, so
and a jack x are not as awkward, but yes, basically yes. So I'd absolutely like if you're like what are you checking instead 10-2? Like you don't even have that in your life.
Right.
And that's what I strive for in a lot of spots is balance. Like I want some temp pairs as bets, and then I want to probably find like 2 top combos of top pairs I don't bet. Either because they're like really weak kickers, so leave that in my range, or that they're going to play much better on turns than other hands. Okay, so to go over this hand here, if he was on like a 20-30 big blind range, I actually just check this back because I don't ever want to get check piled off this. But once you're over the 30, like 28-30 hump, I do like raising it because it's just it's a really really hard stack for him to like just limp rip in your face because you don't want to when you're in position you do not want to not realize equity of suited connectors here. I would bet this low of equity hand. I don't go that sizing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know what you're accomplishing with that sizing.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it feels bluffy as shit, but what are you going to do now? You're just going to fold.
Right, yeah.
In fact, you really polarize your range when you go to sizing. Do you bet aces here?
Yeah, I'd probably bet aces the same size.
I would check back aces.
Or do I make it the same size?
I would check back aces on this board. But I'm just asking what you do with aces. It's like, okay, so what are you really polarizing your range to here? Like a scared queens when you go to sizing and bluffs? Like,
yeah, I don't think like I definitely wouldn't play like a scared, like I wouldn't, if I was scared that I was beat, I definitely wouldn't like go bigger to protect my hand. Like that's not really how I would think. I just kind of, I think I would, I'm not always, wouldn't, sometimes I would stick in like a 17K bet here, but I don't know.
I think 17K is like the absolute perfect size to go here.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been going through this thing where I just bet bigger randomly sometimes.
But that's what I'm trying to get through to you with consistency.
Right. Right.
You've been a little bit all over the place. Now it hasn't been like a train wreck of a hand history, but you've been unnecessarily all over the place, like opening King 7 suited under gun. It's like, well, that in itself is a bit of a train wreck. But
right.
I haven't seen any like huge spews outside of stuff like that. But just randomness. Let's see what they got in. Wait. He jams in, calls with ace 9 suited, standard. We open ace 8, works. We definitely defend 10-7 off once that comes in. Interesting thing is he's making it a little bit bigger than min, like sizably bigger than min, that we actually are gonna not defend quite as wide. But once this guy comes in, we defend this all day, every day. Assuming you don't, though, based off of that last 9-5 offhand. I try to limp here, but I believe you're overfolding the small blind. I do defend this hand, right? I wouldn't have defended the queen 8 suited, but I will defend this hand. Okay, and we fuck off.
Yeah.
Pretty nut low flop. This is definitely interesting. I actually just flat here. Good. A check call, at least one street. Good. And it's okay to check fuck off on that turn. And that's interesting in itself because it's
now it's like a really good card for him to bet.
It's a really good card for him to bet, and at the same time, does he bet all his ace X's? He probably does on Queen 6-3 though. Not all of them. And Ace Jack was a good double broken card there, but it's weird. Interesting hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we raise. He 3-bets. Just trying to read how many big blinds is a lot. It's a lot deep, but I'm fine with 4-betting. I wouldn't hate flatting here, but I'm fine with 4-betting. And obviously we get it in. Feels a little gross once he 5-bets, but it's 3-handed. If he really coolered you, that's better than Queen's blind was blind,
Yeah.
Congratulations to him. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I was kind of pissed because I haven't had like a win in a long time. So I was hoping that even though this wouldn't have been the biggest score, I was hoping that I was gonna win this one. I was in the zone. I was kind of let down. I was a little bummed out. But oh well, happens.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about the spot.
Right.
Now, there's things that you could have done earlier that okay, so like your randomness of like just picking spots. Ace, king, you raise 5-4. And then on the flip side, 9-9-2, you check full 10-8 off, which was like backdoor spades, backdoor straights. You're like literally, because you can never have a gut shot on that board, your best bluff combo. So it's just things like that are just so inconsistent.
Right.
And that's what we need to get you to is you need to know what you're doing, why you're doing, not just like, oh, sometimes I do this, sometimes I do that. It's like, why and what are you accomplishing? And I can't remember. There was another spot. I'm like, well, what do you call? Oh, the ace 9 on the 10-9 or 10-8-7-7. It's like, well,
oh yeah.
Like, what were you accomplishing? And you just seem to have a tendency with people check to always bet.
Right. Yeah.
Without ever saying, well, this is why I'm betting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I definitely do check when I get bet to a lot, but
I
when
mean,
the
it's
on the
not.
open-ended one. The open-ended one, I thought that I guess I could like check back and then maybe bet the turn, but on that one, I thought that we would probably be in agreement on betting that one, but
Not even close.
I
Actually,
yeah
I think it's very easy check back on that spot because you're never getting to fold a pair except for like twos, threes, fours, fives, six. No,
yeah
not sixes, but
hmm
so and again, it was just like we're not in agreement because what were you accomplishing? And then when I asked you that question, you seemed to get it that you weren't really accomplishing much,
right yeah that's true
except for eliminating bluffs. Like, yeah, okay, you don't get queen jack to fold even. They still get to realize their equity, and you're in just weird spots. Is there an argument for flatting the three bet in this hand? Yes, that's why I was reading the blinds. There is an argument for fighting the three bet in this hand. You could absolutely argue that, but based on the opponent and their history, I would actually four bet. I would flat aces here, but I don't think you need to go queens wide. It's not terrible. Anyways, guys, if you guys want to see more of how Silkhandlez plays after this session, what he picks up from here, like, what do you think of anything you picked up from?
me
Yeah.
um I I think like obviously you make a great point about like thinking about like what I'm accomplishing with like betting and stuff. So I'm definitely gonna like think about that a lot more. And
Attacking limps. Like, you wanted to fold those
yeah,
twos sometimes, and it's just the easiest thing in the world where you see passivity, you attack it. Money on the ground, you pick it up. That's what I always tell everybody. Every single
yeah,
coaching session I see, I mean, unless they've already had a coaching session with me and they're like spot on it, I always want people attacking limps more, jamming over limps more, three betting flats, like someone cold calls or raise, going a little bit wider, three betting the spots. I just always want those things out of players I work with. But keep going on what you were saying.
yeah, just betting more. I mean, or having a reason for betting. Uh, and I like the randomness too. You know what I mean? Like I definitely some of the spots I looked at and like I couldn't remember that I played it and I was just like, dude, why the fuck? I know that I'm doing it too. Like I'm honestly my own worst enemy when I play poker.
And,
Like
and
I
that's
play head
true for a
games
lot
with
of
myself
that's
and
true for a lot
yeah,
of
like
players. And some people need to realize they can be the most talented player in the world, but if they can't like have emotional control, or even if it's not emotional, like just the awareness that they are just randomly being like, well, fuck it, and not taking the best lines they possibly can. It doesn't matter if like on paper they could be the most talented person in the world, like reviewing a hand or hand history or something like that, if they're not actually implementing it.
right, yeah. That's what I mean. I don't get super emotional, but I definitely get just like playing head games with myself. Like, just I don't know. I'm on a huge downswing, so it's just like
And that's
every
where the problem is. Like when people are in huge
yeah,
downswings, they start changing things. Like you stop limping the small blind. Is you
yeah,
over adjust.
right,
Just be consistent. And it'll be good.
yeah. And then yeah, you just I try. It's good that I have a job because I can just go to work and not think about poker for fucking 6 7 hours or whatever. But it just I don't know. It's something I think about all the time. Like as soon as I start playing, and I just like start the session off, and it's like a couple bad hands, I'm just like, God damn it, dude, not another losing session. Like, and it's just how I start thinking. And I know it's like not good, but it's tough not to. It's tough to fight it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I can sit there and just be a stone face. The Russian boxer from Rocky Four. You know what I mean? Just in the
Mm-hmm.
zone. But like other times, I just kind of get a little frustrated. But
I
I don't know.
mean, the best way to play MTTs is to accept that you're going to run bad until you don't. Like MTTs are incredibly swingy. Until you hit that bank, you're going to be downswinging most of the times in MTTs.
Right? Yeah. Uh oh. My recommended 137 HX mental game of poker. I've
We
heard
just
of
call them
that, but
Orioles.
some Orioles.
Yes, Orioles.
Oreos. Thank you for that
Oreos?
recommendation. I've heard it. Wait, Orioles like the baseball team or Oreos like the double stuff?
Whatever you want them to be.
All right.
You're
Oreo.
now double stuffed Orioles.
Yeah, I've heard of that book. I heard it's good, but I'm not much of a reader. But maybe I'll check it out.
So if you guys want to see how Silkhandlez progresses here, you can watch him on his own Twitch channel. I don't know how much he's going to be streaming, but he has streamed twitch.tv/Silkhandlez. Yeah, if you even want to say something in the chat so people can easily click on your name and follow you, that might be helpful.
Oh, like share it?
No, just like literally type like a period and press enter, and someone can click on your name and go to your channel easy.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Well, actually, I can just write cast through Silkhandlez because I'm eating a little fish stick. There you go. Anyway,
Yeah,
guys, this will wrap up our session. Unless you had anything else you wanted to comment on right now, Travis.
Nothing related. I just wanted to say, thank you for letting me come on your stream, and thank you for coaching me. Appreciate it a lot. I found it helpful, and but yeah, nothing like more on the tournament or anything. But yeah, this was fun. I found it very useful, and I appreciate it a lot.
All right, we can maybe do it again sometime, and good luck getting out of the downswing.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
All right, thank you guys. Heading out now.
Take care.